Good evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. We like to first give thanks to God for allowing us to be in this space. We are being brought to you today by Keys Business Connect by She Wins Totally Incorporated and by international best-selling author Erin McFarley. We welcome you, Erin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're thank you for like agreeing to come on the show, girl, because you are a super busy woman.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for being flexible because I know he was like, Erin, oh my gosh.
Erin, I'm over 40, so it's like this my bedtime. So really it's not, but it is like,
Yeah.
we try to go to bed early nowadays, girl.
Listen,
But
I know that's right. Seriously.
yes. So just to give you all a little background on Erin, Erin is an international best-selling author, a serial entrepreneur that specializes in real estate, taxes, and investing. She's an impact speaker that enjoys speaking life into others. With a background in finance and communications, in Erin's own words, I believe that everyone deserves a chance at building financial freedom, creating generational wealth, and making money from multiple streams. With over 30 years' experience in public speaking and acting, Erin was led to mentor over 300 children to build their confidence in speaking and communication. So today, you guys, Erin will be speaking on maintaining mental and spiritual balance while being an entrepreneur. I'm going to repeat that topic, y'all. Erin will be speaking on maintaining mental and spiritual balance while being an entrepreneur. So y'all tap in, tune
Yeah.
in. Hello, Cheryl Williams or Cheryl Rucker. We see
Hey,
you
Miss
logged
Cheryl.
in. That's my mama, y'all.
Right. Well, her pretty self.
Thank you, girl. All right. So, Erin, can you go ahead and take it away and just let us know a little bit about we said who you are, we said what you do. You could go ahead and add on to that and just get into it.
Okay, great. Well, I just want to first tell you thank you for being so flexible with me and changing the time. I really appreciate it. I just got finished doing a massive impact challenge class. That's a 3-day challenge I'm doing with other entrepreneurs and impactors who are out here helping people. But like Kenyatta said, I do all those other different things, but my life's purpose is to really help people, right? Real estate, tax, that type of stuff pays the bills, right? What's up, Sharonda? And so, but my life's purpose and mission is to help other people find their light within them and tap into the God within them, you know? And these type of things are just so needed right now. And just a little bit about me. Yes, I worked in banking and all that for years and doing real estate and mortgages. But in 2016, I was working at Citibank. And I was doing anti-money laundering for them and doing investigations on subpoena cases for the embassy and for the FBI. And child, I got laid off. And so after that, I was like, what? You know, my mom, we have a cleaning business in the family. And I came back to St. Pete and I was just trying to figure it out, you know? And I said, I want to become an entrepreneur. And so I started my track in being an entrepreneur. But in that, I was in a relationship with someone that did not see the value within me. And you know how you can be with you know what I'm talking about. People be like that, right?
They do.
And so it don't always have to be the people that you date. It can be people, your family and stuff like that.
Yes.
But you know, and so in this case, it was an ex that I was with, and in the last few months of us being together, he got very abusive because he saw that, dang, her light is really shining. He used to tell me to put a lampshade over it.
What?
Over my light. But let me tell you something though. I just told my class this. When you were in when life is lifing and you have a purpose, see, we all have a God-given purpose, but see, not everybody figure it out. Am I able to use colorful language on your program?
Girl, you can do what you want to do.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
So, life be happening. And when shit hit the fan, a lot of people crumble, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so, like I was sharing with my class, through the times of me being in that relationship, I can remember being thrown through a door and breaking the door with my back. And I can remember him standing over me, telling me that no one would ever want to hear me speak. I had just started doing a public speaking coaching with kids. And, he was like, no one ever want to hear you speak. And anybody want to hear you write a book? I hadn't written any books yet. But Les Brown says, if you can look up, you can get up. And I knew that God put a purpose in me to be a dynamic speaker, to speak purpose into other people's lives so that they can see the God within them. And so I got out of that situation, and I'm just so grateful for my family, being there for me. But I share that story not for sympathy. I share that story because everybody go through some type of stuff, right?
And
that's why
that may be someone else may be overcome by your testimony.
Correct. And I was so embarrassed of that situation, and so that led me into writing. That led me into telling my story, because I was like, damn, God, why I'm going through this? Don't you love me? What's going on?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that when we've been conditioned to think that everything's supposed to be like a Disney movie, and life just don't pan out like that. That's just not how it is, And so when stuff really hit the fan and people, that's why a lot of businesses fail, right? Because like I was telling my class today, it's 90% mindset and it's 10% skill once you get that with this life thing, right?
Right.
And I say that because your mind will stop you from doing so much, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's really how I got into entrepreneurship. He tried to kill me, and I'm so grateful that I'm alive here today with you, because that allows me to share my story for other people to really know that broken crayons still color. They color beautifully. You know what I'm saying? And so just having that, thank you so much, Sharonda, to have the strength to even share this story to help other women overcome, because there's a lot of strong women who go through what I went through.
And hi, Kiesha. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all share this.
And that's a story. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it happens every day. Like being in the bell industry, you see so many things, and just to see a woman that has overcome all of that mental abuse, that physical abuse, and to just see how you have blossomed into the woman that you are today, and you're taking your skill set and pouring it into other women. That is what it is all about, and we so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now to get on to the topic that of maintaining your mental and spiritual balance while being an entrepreneur, what advice can you give to entrepreneurs out there, even those that's offering professional services? Because we know that can get a little daunting as well, especially depending on the profession that you're in.
Yeah, life is going to happen. Life is going to life no matter what. And what I know is it's just super important to be spiritually and mentally aligned. See, I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe in. You understand what I'm saying? But what I will say is you need to get a great connection with your source, and be able to really know and keep the end goal in mind. Me keeping the end goal in mind while getting my ass whooped, right? Through layoffs, through all these different situations.
Woo.
And I still kept going. So you got to be resilient in this life. My aunt Val, she's a dentist, and she owns 2 dental offices in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I remember when I first started entrepreneurship, she texted me and she was like, "This ain't for the weak." That's all she said. And that was in 2016. And she ain't never lied. This thing is a jungle. Okay. And you got to be ready to go through the jungle and know how to align yourself back and to bring yourself back to the space when life is hitting you, right? And learning on what makes you tick. See, a lot of us I'm from South, we're from the same area, but I'm from Southside St. Pete, 18th Street, 9th Avenue, right? We grew up literally
same 18th Street and 9th Avenue.
So coming from where we come from and being who we are now is somewhat taboo, right? Because, wanting more, you Black girl wanting more out of life, you just can't be settled for what you have. I was raised to settle. I love my grandma, right? But I know my grandma was raised in a certain different time, and settling for her generation was just enough, but it was never enough for me. Right. Yeah. And so as you are in entrepreneurship and everything's happening, do self-checks. I've always done this, but I didn't know it was a thing, right? Until I learned that it was a thing. But I've always done self-checks on myself, and I've always kept it 1,000 with myself on how I feel. Right. Yeah. When things are happening, I've called you in situations that I may have been in just to have a sounding board when life was happening for me. Right. And I'm okay with expressing that because that's real shit. Right.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? People have things happening while you're trying to be great, know, and as you're trying to be great, you have to figure out what anchors your spirit, right? And not be scared of getting doing more and doing personal growth. And I can say personal growth has been one of the best things that's happened for me, and me being in rooms that are uncomfortable as I'm growing in my entrepreneurial journey. Right. And so I'm very, very grateful for that and getting mentorship from the right people and really helping guide me in this journey.
Yeah. So when just to even elaborate on what you're saying, like as far as an entrepreneur is concerned, and it's definitely a jungle out here. And one thing that I'm always reminded of is when Cat Williams was performing, in that one performance, he said, you keep trying stuff, don't work. Hold up, switch it up, trying stuff, don't work, switch it up. But eventually you're going to try that one thing and it's going to work, and you're going to know, and you're going to see that you're good at it, and it's actually going to pay off. So you just cannot give up. You have to keep going through it, that adversity. Even when we're sick, we have to get up. Even when, the kids are sick, we still have to get up. And it's just a matter of, persevering through those hard times.
That's right. What did Leah say? Dust yourself off and try again, honey.
Yes, good.
We live in this microwave society where everybody feel that by the time the age of 25, you're supposed to have a Bugatti and $10 million in your bank account. That's why so many people commit suicide, especially now, because comparison is the thief of all joy.
It is.
And we live in a world where they want you to compare. They don't want you to win. They want you to be weak and bewildered. And so just knowing that if it don't work the first time, it don't mean quit. Because you ever meet people that be like, oh, that's a sign. I stop doing that. Stop blaming that shit on a sign. And maybe you just need to try a different way. Maybe you need to pivot on your thought process or how you're doing something, right? So it can't work for you. Sometimes that's a person's fear talking and like, oh, it didn't work this time. That's a sign. That's God telling me no. God put it in your spirit to do. Now you're running when the hard times come. How can God bless you if you're running from the very thing you asked for? What they say, to much is given, much is required.
Oh yeah. And then he said, sometimes when this was not in the word in the Bible or anything, but this is what was put in my spirit, that we pray for our heart's desire. However, we're not doing sometimes what our heart desires. And so God is not going to give us the heart desire because it's not lining up with what he wants for us in our lives. So we have to learn how to trust God. We have to learn how to lean not into our own understanding and know that all things do unfold as they should.
Absolutely. They definitely unfold as they should. And, because I'm not like crazy religious, but I'm super spiritual. I was raised in a Christian church, everything like that, right? But I like to just say that the Bible talks about the birds not worrying about what they're going to eat or what they're going to have.
Matthew, right? Baby. Matthew.
Listen, okay? And so something I'm going to read what I've been, you see my little paper, I got it right here on my desk. Look, I write how I gotta get it, right? But I want to share this. It says, behold, I will do a new thing. Not now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to write down Isaiah 43:19, and you need to read that. And I'm going to break this thing down for you real quickly. And that is because, behold, I will do a new thing. So all new things are coming for you. See, as entrepreneurs, we don't have the luxury of a 9-to-5 knowing that check come in, right? But you have to know that once you've been blessed with a vision or a mission that God has placed in your spirit, it is yours, right? And you just got to know that God's going to continuously create a new thing. And it says, now it shall spring forth. That means it's going to put you ahead of whatever that new thing is for you. And shall you not know it? Like, you don't know who God is?
Girl, you
don't know who your source is? You around here praying and worrying. You say you want all these different things. Around here worrying. You don't know who I am. Right. And then on top of that, it says, I will even make a road in the wilderness. So in a barren land, roads is going to be made for you. But you worried about how this thing is going to happen for you. But God just told you that roads will be made in the wilderness. So what are you worried about? And then lastly, rivers will be made in the desert. In a barren, dry land, rivers are going to be made for you. So you will never thirst.
Yes.
So what you worried about? And so I remind myself of that all the time. And I think that people have to realize that not just in entrepreneurship, but just in life.
Yes.
Period. And I'm talking about, I read this thing like 3-4 times a day because it's important to embed that in your spirit. And that's why I was telling my class that, you know, it's 90% mindset, spirit, right? You got to get yourself right and do that work. And remind yourself that this shit gonna play out how it's supposed to play out. And even if it doesn't work how you planned it to work, it's still working for your good.
Yep. Every time. Every time. Girl, you better go ahead and preach, girl. You about to have me. Look, you and Shantavia last time she had me over here about to do the little dance, girl. You about to go ahead and make me get good job. Yes. Amen. Damien. Yes, she just preached that. So you all know everything that Miss Erin McFarley do. Do you all have any questions for her? Come on with the questions.
Damon Davis, that scripture was Isaiah 43:19.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've been reading on this particular one. I ain't gonna lie, I read it 3 times a day, just about every day. I'm gonna be real with you. The things that have been manifesting for me in doing that, it's been amazing. You know, like I said, I went to the Grant Cardone event, and they talk about when God is placing it for you to do. So let's just say, it's been placed in your spirit to, invest XYZ into your business or whatever the case may be, right? God, I told you to invest this in your business, $10,000 in your business, right? And you say, I'm finna invest $10,000 in my business. But then versus you going to do it, you give yourself conditions. And conditions are basically reasons as into why you can't do it. Oh, well, that's a lot of money. Oh, where I'm going to get it from. But what if this don't work? Why are you giving yourself conditions on why you're not finna do it when it's been placed in your spirit to do it? And see, that's the confidence that we lack sometimes. And we human. I mean, I'm not freaking perfect. Like, shit. You know me, it's not perfect, but I'm telling you how to navigate in this jungle of life and just navigate in this jungle of business. You know what I'm saying to you? Because, we all are out here. And like I was mentioning where we from, we all have healing to do. And I can just say healing. And I know we haven't talked on that yet, but healing has been a game changer for me to heal old mindsets and have paradigm shifts. And paradigm shifts are just basically deep-rooted conditionings. A deep-rooted conditioning is money is the root of all evil. That's a deep-rooted
conditioning. That definitely is. It is.
Right? Especially for our people. It's a deep-rooted conditioning. Oh, everybody that make money in the Illuminati. That's a deep-rooted conditioning. Now you scaring the damn money away because you think that money's the root of all evil.
Right.
And so that's a paradigm shift. To say that it's a tool. Money is a tool. It's not the root of anything. It's a tool, right? So anyway, just changing that mindset has just been impactful for me in my own life.
So how did or how would you suggest someone to start their healing process? So if they're going through it, whether in business or mentally, because we have to, be honest, we have to work on ourselves first.
Yeah.
It starts with the shifting of the mind, as you stated. But
Mhm.
what steps did you take, or what steps would you suggest someone to take to start their healing process?
Well, I can only tell what I did. In my first book, Rise of Overcoming Depression, I wrote that book because I dealt with postpartum depression after having my son. I did not have my only child till I was 30 years old. So I was out here in these streets living my life. And
Hey.
I had a baby. It was like, whoo, So anyway, I went through postpartum depression. And like I was telling y'all, I always do like self-checks on myself. And I remember like having like suicidal thoughts. And I was like, what is this? I don't even know what this is about. Let me go get help. So I did. And I'm not big on taking medication. So that's how I found out I had postpartum. So I was like, all right, let me do the work. Let me heal from that. Let me figure out what's going on. So I went and sat on somebody's couch. I encourage
Mhm.
everybody to do that if you need to do that. My folk don't like to do that, but we have to do that for our own. So
Right.
anyway, I did that because unfortunately no one believed that I was going through that. Nobody who loved me believed that I was depressed, not Erin McFarley, right? And so
Mhm.
once I realized that and I started doing the work on to get through the postpartum, I had to dig deeper to figure out why I felt this way about this situation. Then I had to dig deeper and figure out what triggers where I was being triggered from when I would pop off. Those that know me from back in the day know I would pop off real quick. This mouth is ridiculous, right? And so I've grown from there, but I had to realize what triggered me, what made me feel that I had to be like that. And so, friends, I can just say, be honest with yourself, right? We're all adults. We know what pisses us off, but why is it pissing you off, right? I had to realize that I had like a separation situation because I wasn't necessarily raised fully 24/7 by my mom, or I didn't even know my dad. So I had to learn how to heal from these past situations, heal from why did I pick the people that I picked to be with? What
Mm.
in me was going on? And see, a lot of folks don't like to be honest because when you do take on the healing process, that shit is not easy. It is not Disney World sugar. This is like real deal, like Skid
Real
Row,
life.
real
Real.
life, real
Yes.
life. And so you have to be willing to go through those emotions of that growth. But I tell people, I would rather you go through healing and get it over with versus going through a lifetime of pain and trauma. That's why I talk about in my first book about like Don Cornelius from Soul Train committing suicide. Robin Williams, actor, beloved comedian, committed suicide. Numerous football players commit suicide, right? Alexander McQueen, great fashion designer,
Yeah.
commits suicide, right? All these people, right? And you're kind of like, what happened? What was going on? They're not doing the work. They're not doing the self-analyzation. So once you start doing that analyzation of what's going on, and you may need to mend some relationships. In me healing, I let a lot of people go, Kenyatta.
Mm.
People who I love would give my left toe for, but I had to let them go. I
Amen.
had to let them go. And in
Mhm.
your healing, you will have to let people go. But think about the higher version of yourself that you will become. I may not have millions of dollars, and I may still have situations in life, but this is truly the happiest I've ever been in my whole damn life because I am so in love with every single flaw that people may call flaws, but I love all that.
Mm.
I've realized what made me tick. I've done my healing with my dad. I'm doing the healing with my mom, and that stuff is important because this is why so many people who are not just in business, just in general in life, you see adults who have behavioral issues.
Yeah. Acting off of pure emotion.
Girl, you see Facebook people telling their whole damn life and
Hey.
popping off about what done happened.
Yes.
Why? The attention. Somebody didn't get love. Let's work on that. Let's heal that. Right? Some
Mhm.
people may have had, sexual abuse and traumas. You got to heal that because
Mhm.
people allow themselves. That will I talk about a junkyard doll. Y'all know the song by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady, right? Bag Lady.
Mhm.
You're gonna hurt your back driving all them bags like that.
Yeah.
Emotional baggages, the toxicity, the new thing is to be toxic. There's so many toxic ass people nowadays because they think that stuff is cute. But it's like you're a junkyard dog guarding junk. Like so many people guard their pain. They want to hold on to their pain. You know what I'm saying? Of losing loved ones. And I'm not saying that you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the type of way about certain things like that. But what I am saying is you got to heal from those things. You know what I'm saying? And to let that pain go. So that for me, in me growing into who I am and to where I know I'm going to be, it's been the best tools because now I use healing as a tool now. Now that I did the old stuff, I can use it as a tool as my everyday when life is happening for me.
All right. So when you speak of tools, because those are things that, you know, everyone is not accustomed to, like we've been dealing with old sets of tools. Now that you're at a new age, you know, a new point in your life, a new mindset, you have to equip yourself with new tools. So can you tell the people like what, when you speak about tools and when I'm speaking about tools, what type of tools are you referring to?
Okay. So tools could be a numerous amount of things, right? So it's really important to take a track of when you had high moments in your life, like good winning moments. What were the things that you were doing during that time? A lot of those things can be your tools. But what I utilize, journaling is a dynamic tool to help you get it out, right? It's a dynamic tool to help you in your healing journey and journaling, okay? And for my men out there, sugar, y'all need to do it. You know, that's how many of our men are committing suicide. Black men. You know that black men are the increasing rate of suicides in this country? Black men. And it's because they're not doing the healing. They're not having a safe space to talk. So I would get the help and talk to somebody. All right. I would do journaling. Right. And when I say journaling, it could be, I'm not saying, right, dear diary, my day went like this. I ain't saying that per se. Right. It could be a prayer journal where you're kind of praying to God, getting things out. In my first book, I literally have old journal and I'm moving right now. So I don't have my book out, but in my first book, I actually have real journal entries from when I was going through postpartum depression so people can read it. I got the help into talking to someone to help me talk these things out in my mind. And we as a people, Black people, I mean, I know we got all different type of viewers, but we as a melanated family, we got to be okay with sitting on somebody's couch.
Yeah.
You got to be okay. Everything's not meant to be discussed with your homeboy or your girl. Because they can't.
They're going through things as well. And how they going to tell you when they're not even doing what they supposed to do for their own healing?
Period. So how can you help me? And baby, you in the quicksand over here. You know, you're going to pull me in with you. That's why I've always been I always tell people who are in a relationship, you never get advice from somebody who is bitter and busted and disgusted and they are broken in their relationship. Like it just makes no sense. You know what I'm saying to you? So go get the help that you need. And really be okay with facing those fears and the tools, getting in contact with your source. I don't go to church every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go to church, but my relation, I am the church. You know, this is
the people.
Okay. This is the church. All right. If you know, you know. But I make sure I have a dynamic relationship with God. And I'm grateful for that. And I have a dynamic relationship with my own spirit and just being real with myself. And giving myself grace. Giving yourself grace is a tool. Why? Because we can have what's called imposter syndrome, where we done did a lot of great things, but you feel like you ain't doing shit, or you feel like you ain't doing enough. When really you really do a lot of great things. Really, you're not patting yourself on the back.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a situation. So, you know, having the mind frame of giving yourself grace. You know, doing personal growth, you know, reading more books, you know, it's other books beside the Bible that can put you on, you know what I'm saying? Like
that is true.
And I also want my folks to understand that you can read books that are by people that don't look like us.
Okay? I do.
Girl, I can drop y'all some books right now.
Yes. So I want to touch on a few things that a few comments. Damien said he dealt with that and God showed him his purpose. We definitely see what you're doing, Damien. We appreciate you out here. Doing your thing. Miss Marche Brown said adults with behavior issues. That's when we were talking about acting off of emotion.
Mhm.
Nipsey Barnes, hey sweetie, I agree. We can't know what direction we're going if we do not heal where we are coming from. Amen to that.
I want to say to
Dave,
Timothy Barnes,
mm-hmm.
without vision, the people perish.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely,
you can never
absolutely
know what direction you're going in if you ain't got no vision.
right. And Damien also said you have to change your perspective on how you used to look at things. That's what helped him change within.
Facts.
Yes. And hey, Crunk Coco, how you
Hey,
doing, baby?
Coco.
Marche did also add, yep, journaling, prayer, fitness, therapy, spending time alone, fasting, and diet. So I'm just going to share a few years ago. My son is 3 years old now, and I swear I went through postpartum after him. I had to come to the realization that I was actually going through it. I will come home like I was functional, like going to work every day, helping everyone else out, coming home, going in the room, closing myself in, not really wanting to do anything. But then what I had to end up doing was I had to first off change my mindset and start doing things differently. I grabbed my son in his stroller. My other son, he will get on his scooter. We'll go walk around Child's Park, during the day, and just changing the routine, changing your mind, getting out there, getting in God's presence. I would be listening to my headset and we'll just be walking. And then eventually, girl, like every day it started getting better. I
Yes.
started feeling chains breaking off. I
Yes.
was talking to my pastor, my mentor, and everything. I started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and just been going ever since then. And not to say that it's easy, because it's not easy. You still get knocked down. But the thing is, every time you get knocked down, you get back up. Because
Yes.
what the Bible says, a just man fell 7 times and
Mm-hmm.
gets back up 8.
Yes.
So just got to keep going. Just got to keep going. Get that help that you need and get your mind right and just do what the heck you got to do.
And I love that. You're such a dynamic person, Kenyatta. You help so many people. And, when you're a person like that, postpartum can be like, wow. And I just want to just say to the women, women can have postpartum for years after having their children. So postpartum depression can hit you if you've had a miscarriage. Postpartum depression can hit you if you had an abortion. And postpartum depression can hit you after you've had a baby. Okay. And so, a woman can have postpartum. It could be 9 years down the line. And now it's rolled into depression and anxiety. So I'm just grateful that you were able to, you sense that. And that's what I mean, the tools, you going outside, doing when you were in your high moments of energy, what you need to do to get you going. Like on my Spotify, I have a Abundance Now playlist. I'm talking about, I listen from everything, the Migos to Mahalia Jackson. But I listen to things that vibrate my spirit and put me on a higher vibration. Yeah. And I just want to also say to any entrepreneur, make sure that you're around people that keep you on a higher vibration. That's why I love Kenyatta, because she always has a high vibration no matter what's going on. You know what I'm saying to you? And you want to be around those type of people because energy is extremely transferable.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is, because I can read someone as soon as they walk in the room, and I do understand people do have their bad days, but sometimes your spirit, when you give into that, when you actually start listening to your intuition, it will tell you, your spirit will be like, oh no, this, whatever's in them, I don't want it. So you will exit stage left. And once you start paying attention, and I was speaking to my mom today about those individuals that we are supposed to be connected to, because I was giving her like dreams that I had, visions that I had, and then come to find out the same night she was having similar dreams. And so I'm like, wow, just building a network of, people that you can talk to. And hey, someone may be going through the same thing as you're going through, but you don't know, because you want to keep everything all bottled in. So it's good to have, those individuals that you can talk to, that in a safe place to land.
Absolutely, because it can be, dealing business with people, child, people be so roguish and just be doing the craziest stuff. But that's why it's important to be around like-minded people, to have that minor discernment to kind of know who to deal with and who not to deal with, and whatnot. So I think that that's beautiful that y'all are able to connect on that and having, to talk to, because it's really, it can be rough. It can be cumbersome, Now we all have our seasons of solitude, of course.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's still important to have people that you can, what they say, phone a friend off the
phone a friend, girl, phone a friend. 50-50. What?
Okay, I'm grateful for any time you answer the phone for me. So it's like you have to phone someone that that understands, that's gonna speak life into you right away, and just eradicate that energy of doubt or whatever you may be going through, to help you get back on a higher level. My grandma used to say, sometimes you have to take someone else's belief, because a lot of people don't always believe in themselves. They may be out here doing the thing, but they may not always believe in themselves. And sometimes you have to lean on the belief of someone else until you can fully believe in yourself and into what you're doing.
Right. But you do definitely got to speak life into yourself. And as you were saying, like making sure like you're connected to the right people. I was listening to this one pastor, and I'm just gonna tell you, I be sometimes in a season where I don't want to hear nobody yelling at me. Okay.
Yeah.
I will tune it out. I don't like, you can talk to me. We can have a conversation. We can converse all day. But I don't want to hear anyone yelling at me. And so he was saying, certain people will call you and it's gonna be 30 minutes worth of bull crap. So you ignore those type of people, because if they're not bringing any positivity to your life, or they're not feeding you or edifying your spirit or helping you in some way, or you're helping them and they're not expressing that reciprocity, then you probably don't need to be talking to them like that.
No.
I do want to go back in the comments. I'm not stunting Fancy Nancy comment, because she know I'm a triple O G. And then Sharonda, I definitely had it, and I fought through it. Nobody knew it. I kept God first. Amen.
That's right, Sharonda. Good.
Keep coming back until you get your miracle. Yes. And yes, Sharonda, we stay having conversations such as this. Miss Michelle, yes. Hi, Essie Sneed. Thank you for tuning in. All right. No, you're not the only dude on here. You're just the only one commenting, Damien. I'm definitely prioritizing my space. Certain people don't get my energy. Amen.
You got to create those boundaries.
Leslie, we must shift and reset mentally each and every day, sometimes all throughout the day, in order to remain totally coherent and connected to the right people. Amen to that.
And Leslie, I want to say too, I ask myself throughout the day, how did that make me feel? How do I feel about this? Because you need to do those self-checks with yourself, because some people just do stuff because somebody else wanted to do it, or whatever. But it's just important to do those self-checks and create those boundaries. It's pivotal, because you are your MVP, your most valuable player in your life. Yes, your family, husband, wife, whatever y'all got going on, God. But baby, if you don't get yourself together and put you first, it don't even matter.
Amen. And Keisha, thank you so much again for tuning in. So Damien Charles McKinnon just chimed in. You're not the only man on here.
Shout out to all my men on the call. You know what I'm saying? This all this stuff we talk about adheres to y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in and whatnot, for sure.
And one thing that we do understand is that men do suffer in silence. Yes. And that's why it's very important for you guys to get out there and speak with someone. Don't just go to your homeboys who's having relationship problems. You go speak to a professional or someone that you trust. Is going to give you some good information.
Yeah, because emotional intelligence is so big. Like I'm a mother of a son, and I see now that he's getting older, I can see him trying and I was like, hey, we talk it out. Like we have to get it out. When you ready to talk, we're going to talk, but we're going to talk. and not hold it in like a boiling pot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just super important that our men really do that and be comfortable and be okay with it. And it don't make them, it's not making them soft or anything. I really hate that has been placed on the shoulders of men, right? To feel does not mean that you're less masculine or, punk. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's hurting your feelings, you need to say something, bro. It's okay to cry. Okay? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? But get that thing out and work on it.
And I think like we as women, sometimes we have to be a little more softer too. Cause I know sometimes like I'll be expressing my feelings and I'm just being very transparent because, hey, that's what we're doing here. I'll express my feelings. And then, when he comes and be like, well, you not listening to what I said, my feelings are. And then we ain't talking about your feelings right now. We're talking about my feelings. And that's where I'm convicted because I know, as he's a human being, so he definitely have feelings as well. And sometimes, ladies, we just have to be mindful of that. I know we be in heated arguments sometimes, and we think our way is always the right way, but we do have to be mindful of them as well.
And I think that's like a paradigm. That's a deep conditioning that it's always the woman that feels. That's a bunch of bullshit. Men feel too, right?
They do.
Sick of them. And I know I've been like that too. That's why I say my next relationship, I ain't gonna do them like that. You know what I'm saying? Baby? You gotta say, get it out. All right.
I'm gonna do better, baby.
I'm gonna do better. You know what I'm saying? You matter too. Right? Yeah. So, but just being open to hearing them, and then that way they won't bottle up. I know we're gonna talk about relationships, but you know what I'm saying too? That's important,
right?
Especially just as women, and I know I am a very direct person. And it could maybe come off incorrectly, right? And I've worked on that, but even understanding that if, I don't got no man, but my man may be going through some things. Should I shun his feelings because he's supposed to be a strong man and that he can't express how he feel? Like, no, like that stuff is played out.
But you gonna hear me first.
Yeah. You better hear what I gotta say.
You better hear what I gotta say first. All right, so I want to get to Nancy, and I want you to take this one here, Erin. She says she's been around here asking him to reveal, which is God, and remove, and actually been losing some who I really wanted to go with me. I don't be wanting to leave anyone behind. Baby, you can't take everybody with you, but go ahead and take that one away, Erin.
It's like a growth remorse. You can't have remorse from growing. Let me tell you something. Everything that I'm doing now, everybody who I thought would be with me, I could cry about it right now. It hurt my feelings still to this day. That everyone who I thought who would be with me right now, and even where I'm going, they ain't even on board. And it's a blessing. Let me tell you something. You got to be prepared when you ask God to reveal people.
Woo!
That's not for the weak. You got to be prepared. I'm talking about you got to be prepared. Because you finna see the real deal out of people that you thought was your ace boom coon, people that you rolled for 10 toes down for, and now they're not even next to you while you winning because you want to win with them. You can't make them win with you. And then the reason why God let them out your life, because you got to make space for the people that's gonna get you in a position. I was talking to my coaching. I know I keep saying that, but I just came from a class. But I was talking to my students and I was telling them, I asked everybody, what's your purpose? Then I said, who don't align with that purpose? Why are you having relationships with people that don't even align with your purpose or your end of the day goals? And I think that we as humans, we have to be okay with letting folks go. Like, you got to be okay, because the cemetery is the richest place in the world. Yes, people die without tapping into a purpose because they wanted to keep this relationship with Tom, Dick, and freaking Harry. Let their ass go, because you will never be able to get to the destiny that God has for you. And I'm going to tell you now, Fancy Nancy, I seen you send me a friend request, and I'm gonna go ahead and prove it because I know he was, right? But Fancy Nancy, I understand it is hurtful, but don't have a personal growth remorse. Don't have remorse for you outgrowing people. I remember after I got out of high school, I was in a relationship, right? My ex, you know what I'm saying? And I was accepted to FAMU, and I was supposed to go that summer. But my ex, I felt they were like, oh, this and the third. I didn't go to FAM because of how I thought that was going to make them feel. You understand what I'm saying? And that may be, you might like, damn, why you did that? People do shit all the time. Don't act like y'all ain't never did nothing in a relationship.
Yeah. Girl, tell me about
Yeah,
it.
call a spade, right? We're being real on here, right? But I say that to say that those things can block us. Sometimes, not sometimes, everybody can't be on your front row of life. Sometimes you got to take them people who you had in the front row who you thought was riding with you got to put their ass in the nosebleeds. You understand what I'm saying? Or take them out the auditorium altogether. Okay. And it's very hurtful. And I remember I didn't want to leave nobody behind, but they didn't want to move forward with me either. And I say that not saying that they didn't believe me, they didn't love me, but because of the doubt and the lack mindset that they had, ain't no way you want me to win. When you talk like this about your own damn life, you got to go. And you got to be okay with that, you know, and you just got to be okay with that because guess what? God will place the people in your way that is meant for your purpose to help you get there. Them jokers couldn't help you get to where you're supposed to be, fancy Nancy. You're supposed to be fancy. They can't ride, okay? So,
and I'm going to piggyback off of that. And that was very great. But sometimes you do have to understand that everyone is not there. You don't know, what someone else may be going through. Maybe you're ready. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe your energy is up. Maybe they're going through whatever, it is that they're going through. We can't be so quick to shoo people off because they're not doing what we want or what we think that they should be doing, because some people, they go through things and they deal with things differently, and they may not want to express that to you, at that particular time, what it is, because they know that no one can help them but themselves. So just be mindful of that. Whatever God has for you is going to be for you regardless. Can't nobody stop what God has for you. What's for you is for you. And we're going to move on.
I'm going to move on, but I will just say this last thing, Fancy Nancy. Dissect your group. What they say, the 5 people closest to you is a sum result of who you are. So, these may be people you've had in your life for a long time. They're removing, God's removing. If God removes them and reveals them to you, you need to take heed to that and just separate in love.
I'm going through here. Oh, yes, Sharonda. Tamika Mitchum. We as women have to do better at providing a safe space for them to express themselves. Yes, we do.
Damn.
Yes, we do. And they have to be, we provide the safe space, but they have to, actually express themselves. And, sometimes guys, they just want to be macho, want to be hard and everything. And they are dealing with a soft woman at times, because we ain't always soft, but at times, and they need to know that, like, what their woman needs as well. But we're not getting into the relationship thing. But yes, that is a great point. We should. I know we're running out of time, Erin. I'm gonna let you go. I just want to take one more here. Oh Lord, I'm done.
You say my pissy.
I'm done. Yeah, you gave up a full scholarship. Tamika, I think we've all done some crazy things for love. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm not even gonna run down.
Listen, and I think that's where you give the grace at. I was telling you got to forgive yourself for the decisions that you made, especially when we're not all in our right mind, because we've all been conditioned to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
So you had to wake up and be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all good. It was a learning experience, and I'm actually grateful for it. And like I said, it's not relationship talk, but we all have done things out the name of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they have all been the best decisions, but they were a decision, and that's okay. We had to learn and grow from those things. So yeah.
All right, so we have taken up a lot of your time, Erin, and we so appreciate it. Before
I enjoyed it.
I did too. The time just went by so fast.
Girl, we can talk, so
exactly. Now, is there anything that you would like to leave with the people? Also, please provide them with your contact information, your website, how they reach you, if they want any coaching. Just give all your contact information and some parting words of encouragement, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'm gonna probably take up all these 9 minutes. Okay, boom. So, guys, please follow me on all social media platforms at Confidently Erin. All right. That's ConfidentLyerin. I am on all social media platforms. Okay. Um, Currently, what's coming up, we're preparing for the Black Excellence Summit. That's going to be February 4th through the 5th. Make sure you guys get your tickets and come out to that. Also, I'll be doing the Black Excellence Gala Masquerade Ball. It's going to be a charity event. Please come out. VIP tickets are available. That will be on February the 5th. Also on February the 19th, I'll be doing a lunch and learn, brunch and learn in Tampa. Oh, I'm going to tell you that too. Damon Davis, don't hold that thought, Damon. And so go ahead and purchase your tickets. They're $50 for that. I'll be discussing more on mindset and being an entrepreneur like we did here this evening. And plus you get some food. My books, you can always go to Amazon to get my books, Rise of Overcoming Depression. Also, The Repair of the Black Family and Embracing Imperfections. You can also go to my website, www.erinmcfarley.com, to purchase any of my services. So my niche audience and people who I work with, as far as my coaching services, I help people who are already impacting people, right? I want to help people who need to dust off their dreams when life is happening. You need to figure out a way to get back on track. That's what I love to do. Also, look, tax season is here, guys. Go ahead and get your taxes done, okay? Yes. Get at your girl. And if you're interested in investing in real estate, I can always help you guys there. And I know we really didn't talk about the multiple streams of income, but if you follow Bloomberg, if you follow people like Grant Cardone, be mindful of the economy in 2023, right? Remember, millionaires are made through recessions, but having multiple streams of income is super important, and learning other skill sets. Please don't tell yourself you can't do that. Thank you, Tamika Mitchell, for dropping the link for the Black Excellence Summit. And just know that, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I'm going to leave you with this. Earl Nightingale talks about the human brain being like the ground. So the human brain, the ground will grow a apple tree and provide apples, right? And then, where's my going? Listen, David Davis, this is why he's a comedian. Y'all go follow David Davis. He's funny. Oh my gosh.
You trying to be serious. I'm so sorry.
David Davis? Okay. So Earl Nightingale, real quick, I'm going to wrap this up for you. Earl Nightingale talks about the ground being like the brain, right? So the ground will grow, for example, it'll grow a weed plant, knowing people get high off of it, but it'll also grow apple tree. People can eat from it. The ground don't say, no, I'm not growing this cannabis, this weed plant, because you're going to get high off of it. The ground grows both. The brain is the same way. So whatever you think negative or positive, our brain scientifically cannot decipher the difference. So whatever you're planting into your mind, it's going to manifest. If you say you can't do it, you're absolutely right. If you say you can do it, you're absolutely right. So it's about the choices that you make and the decisions that you make. So I just encourage you guys to really just tap more into your purpose and just say that you can do all things. All things are possible. Mic drop. That's it.
Well,
I'll keep going.
Mic drop. Thank you so much, Erin, for joining us again. She's dropped her contact information so you guys can reach out to her directly, her website, everything that you need to get in contact with her, the books that she sells. She's dropped all of that information in. Just a few things, Erin, if you wanted to go ahead and click that red button, I'll connect with you offline, or if you want it to stay on, because we're about to end in a second anyway.
You're fine. I'm cool.
All right, just a few things, guys. Well, the Mr. walking in, so that's why you hear the baby screaming. But just again, the show was brought to you today by Keys Business Connect, by She Wins Totally Incorporated. I forgot to mention Jazzy Nails. I had on their lashes earlier today, but for some reason, it wasn't the lashes, it was me. And it was magnetic lashes. I did do a video on it, and I'll drop the video pretty soon, but you can get your magnetic strips and all your strips from 727 Seafood out of Jazzy Nails vending machine. On February the 18th, 2023, Saturday, from 12 to 4. I hope that's not conflicting with anything you have going on. I will be speaking at Birthing Your Vision Empowerment Brunch. That will be a private affair in Brandon, Florida. I will drop the link for tickets for that one coming up February the 18th from 12 to 4 p.m. Seats are limited. So make sure if you want to come and support, hear me speak at this event. It's not my event. I'm just speaking at it. But I'll be speaking with some awesome women as well. So if you want to come to that event, I'll drop the link for you guys. Again, we all thank you for tuning in to Keys Business Connect. We thank Miss Erin McFarley for joining us today. And I pray that each of you have a super fantastic week, and we will be connecting really, really soon. And just to let you guys know again, February the 7th, we will have Latasha Lee on with A1 Bartending. And so we're going to reschedule the women in Bell because I have not given the ladies enough time to get their selves together that I would like to have on the show. So we'll reschedule that one. But February 7th, tune in for Latasha Lee with A1 Bartending Services. Thank you guys again for tuning in.